Welcome, guys, to our first episode of
You forgot
Getting Closer. No, I didn't.
So our first guest will be our friend from high school. He's called Mahmoud kubaisi. سقف يا عمي. Okay, so this is Mahmoud. Give them an introduction about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Mahmoud kubaisi. Some people know me as Mahmoud Kadham. I'm 20 years old. I'm a student at the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, and I study medicine.
Studying medicine.
Yes.
How hard is it?
Oof. Straight into it, huh?
Yeah, I just want to know because I'm like really curious. I was in computer science and I moved to media because I hated computer science. Like.
Honestly, like
Before you continue, that's exit, right?
Yeah, we're going to last exit in case you don't know. That's our destination. Hopefully we reach there safe with this guy driving. Just pray for us.
I'm a very great driver.
Yeah.
ما راح احلف بس
Okay, so what were you talking about? Medicine, why is it hard, huh?
Yes.
So what everyone says about medicine being hard and all, I can confirm. Like from first-hand experience, it's not as easy. I used to think that I was gifted in high school, and then I got to med school and realized that I was.
And then you realized that Misrania is not there.
Hey, look! I'm still getting first honors in med school. It just takes more effort than I thought.
You were always a smart boy. How?
Smart is not good enough. You see, that's the issue. Like med school.
اسمعي كمان خلي الايجو تاعه ينزل ايجو داون يعني.
Yeah, he's telling you to lower your ego.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You have
I have an ego.
you have a big ego يا أخي.
I have a big ego, but as I'm saying, like.
Yeah, at least he has it in studying.
When I got.
You have it in games. You're dumber.
I'm egotistic in games, something that is not important.
No, it is.
What are you egotistic in? Food?
Nothing.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead, continue.
Okay, so honestly, Anjir, I agree with you. The whole, like, I thought I was really good at studying was a thing, but then I got to med school and I realized that I had to put in a lot more work than I thought, and I realized that just being smart or like being gifted is just not good enough to cut it. You still have to put in all the work in order to know everything, and that's the issue. Like, being smart is not good enough to get you through med school. The only thing that's good enough to get you through med school is how dedicated you are to it and how much time you put in. Because at some point or another, you need to sit there and you need to sit through a lecture and you need to know everything at the end of the day.
Have you ever thought, like,
Okay, guys, just a quick thing. Imagine it's not recorded. سوينا كلها ومش اعطيني التليفون.
Well, you know how I'm gonna put this in your eye?
اسمع شوف.
Okay, so we're just checking if it's recording while he's driving. I can't tell if it is or not.
Are you serious? ممكن ما دامنا وقفنا.
Okay, just check.
اسمع شوف والله لانزل من السيارة عشان يحكي.
Oh, just flip the
Really
camera.
fast. No, we can't flip the camera.
And this is how we get deported.
Anjir has the IQ of a potato.
He's actually checking the camera from the front of the car, so is it recording?
Yes.
Okay.
Anjir, you have the IQ of a potato. I promise you have some type of mental disability.
Okay. Not like that.
And this guy like actually needs help.
Oh, by the way, I didn't tell the story of your Facebook message.
Oh, the
I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna say it. See it.
Say it.
Mahmoud sent me a text in like 9th grade. I had no clue who he was. How did he know me? He just sent me a message saying, "When do you have?"
Creepy guy.
Bro, he literally sent me a message. He was white as well. He sent me a message saying, "When do you have PE and Islamic?" And I was like, "Who are you?" And then he said, "I'm your neighbor." And then, no, because your name was Mahmoud Kadham.
Yeah, my name
It wasn't kubaisi.
Same
And
thing,
like, you know how everybody knows that,
knows
kubaisi
that
lives
kubaisi.
here? Yeah, exactly. So I was like really confused on who the this guy. Until you showed up, of course.
So I was moving classes and we were in the same school, and then I decided to move classes freshman year of high school. And I was moving classes to Bashar's class, and that's how I got to know him. I hit him up since I knew he lived next to me. I was like, yeah, like when do you have PE classes and when do you have Islamic, so on. to
How
get the
much do you
schedule.
regret it?
Changing classes?
Yeah.
Not one bit. Best decision I've ever made.
Okay, knowing him.
Huh?
Getting يعني to meet
Getting
him.
to know him, worst decision I've ever made.
Okay, so back to medicine and real
Back to
life shit,
medicine.
yeah?
وانا شو انا يعني
What do you want?
من متى بيعرفنا اخو.
What,
And
tell
here
me.
I've known you since 2nd grade.
Yeah, and once you
Wait, were you in the same class as him?
Yeah.
I was in the same class as him.
2E.
I was in the same class as him.
And here we were in 2E.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I was in 2, 3, 4E.
Yeah.
And then,
Same.
Yeah,
We weren't in the same class though. I don't remember you.
I was literally in the same class. He used to come, he used to like put the pen inside the tables, like make a hole in tables. I swear to God. Like he used to sit in the middle row, last person, and he used to like get a pen and put holes in the table.
Jir, what class were you in grade 2?
How would I remember that?
Do you remember who you were with?
I
With me or
remember.
with Bashar? I remember we were in the same class. I'm sure.
Sure. يعني انت كنت معنا.
What?
Wait,
I don't remember you.
I swear to God, Amir was literally in the same class as I was. Like on God.
حجحش. Okay, wait. Do you remember when you got the helicopter from your
Yeah,
uncle or some
that was
shit?
grade 4.
هالحمار he was gonna cut me.
Oh no, grade 4 I wasn't with you guys. Grade 4 I went to A.
Although I don't remember you grade 2, grade 3.
No, but grade 2 I was with him and I'm pretty sure. I'm like 100% sure. We even have a picture together. Yeah, the yearbook picture in grade 2. The one you sent me.
Can we not swear? لأن أنا راح أسوي له.
No, you're not gonna be funny.
No, I am gonna be.
I asked the professor, he said salam.
Slow in this country is different, not.
Okay, so
صح محمود؟
wait, let me see if I still have. Okay, but the only reason why I know I'm pretty sure is that because we both have a yearbook picture. Even Hawaii was in our class.
Man, I wasn't in. أنا in this school I wasn't in KG or anything.
No, not.
حطوني with the pictures and with the KG students.
Oh yeah.
أنا into this school grade 2.
And you're fake until you make it, huh?
جد.
Okay,
Okay.
so since you live outside,
Yeah.
how hard is it? Or like
Living outside?
first month or week of you moving outside to Ireland.
Man, first year in general was tough. First couple of months were the toughest, obviously, because it's a huge jump, especially in terms of lifestyle and just being on your own. Like that's really tough because what you don't feel, but like and you take for granted is the safety net that you have here. Like if anything goes wrong, oh, you call your brother, you call your sister, you call your mom, you call your dad. You have someone to like pick you up if you need anything. While there, like you're on your own, and the only people you might be able to rely on are your friends, and even then they have their own lives going on. So it's like it can get really tough, and you can feel lonely at times, and that was the tough part. You don't know anyone at the first
Do
couple
you
of
live
months.
like fully alone?
No, I share a flat with a couple of my friends.
Was it awkward the first time?
The first year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took a while for us to get closer, but as the years have gone on, like I've gone to like it more. Like I was considering like moving out and living alone and all that, but then after building a strong like
Bond.
bond with everyone that you live with, and you get a good living dynamic going on, where like everyone knows what he has to do and everyone like is involved and everyone's having fun and like you're almost like family. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like what we do like right now is like from the moment we wake up, we all go to the common room, to the kitchen, and like we chill around and we're there for each other, you know. And it can be hard living alone. So, the whole having a.
But you do communicate with them, and especially
Yeah.
since now it's Corona and you can't leave the house much.
Yeah, they're literally all I have, to be honest. Like in terms of like social life, like they're everything. And it makes a huge difference having a good dynamic. Like I know friends that got into basically like random student accommodation where like you're put in with random students, and yeah, that's complete RNG. So like you could either get like great flatmates that are super clean and they're super nice and you get along really well, or you could get like students that are unclean or they don't really care, or ones that are just complete ghosts that like don't leave their room and you never talk to them, and it's just really awkward when that happens, you know? Like,
But I feel at a certain point everyone needs to leave the room. Like regardless of you living with someone or without, there's that break point you're gonna have like just leave.
yeah, the whole needing to be independent thing. Like I truly get it. Like I think about it a lot, how much I've changed after leaving, and I'm not talking about just in terms of studying medicine and all. I'm just talking about living outside and living on my own and being independent. I feel so much more in control of my life, and I feel so much like more prepared in a way for life. Like I don't feel like anything can take me down. I feel like I could always figure things out if anything goes wrong, and that's a very important skill to have.
And now, here's the tricky part about living outside. In the Arab world, if you travel outside to live, and I'm talking from an Arab perspective, you instantly get spoiled. Is that true? People, it's just because people over here have like a lot of rules, and like when you go outside, they kind of are too free to do whatever they want. So is that the case with you?
Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest about this. Okay, I feel like people split into like two groups when this happens. There are those that go outside and just forget everything, in a way, and there are those that like stick to their core values. And
Which one are you?
Which one am I? I think I stuck to my core values really well. I feel like a lot of the students, more than you think, stick to their core values. I feel like the percentage of students that like deviate away, like it's something that they already had in mind while they were here. But if someone accepts like their life for what it is, and they accept life and what it's all about, you know, and they understand what their priorities are, and they have their priorities straight, then they'll stick to the path that they have in mind. But if they have something different in mind, then obviously they'll go outside and they'll get spoiled, and they'll get involved in, like, I know students that, like, last year there was a big deal about this one girl that was under so much stress, and I'm not sure what her story is. Like, she OD'd, she overdosed on drugs and committed suicide, you know, because she was super stressed. And obviously that means that there is a good population of students that
Do you ever
abuse
get
drugs.
that type of stress?
Do I ever get that type of stress?
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting super stressed to the point where you contemplate everything, that happens, especially in medicine.
But
Especially first year.
is it just something related to time management? Like, do they give you enough time, but you're like, you have the
شو اللي
mentality?
بيخليك انه what do you call it?
Get into that,
Yeah.
get that anxious and get
Yeah.
that scared. A huge part of it is the time management thing. Like, the issue with we talk about medicine, and like, you guys are from different majors, and you say, oh my god, like, here it says class of 2025, right?
Yeah.
And you were like, man, oh, like, you still have a long way to go, you know? I think about medicine and I think, okay, I have 4 years and a half to go, and that's not enough time in order to know everything. You know what I mean? In your minds, you think it's too long. In my mind, I think it's not enough time, because we have so much to know, and we have so much to get through, and we have so much to prepare, and it's just not enough time. It's all about time management.
Yeah, because you're
Like-
putting other people's life at risk. So when we study, no one's life is at risk, but like our future is. When you study, you have your life, your future, and other people's lives.
Exactly.
So
And
I get the stress, yeah.
الله الشارع.
Swear to God, this guy's a retard. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I told you he needs help. I told you he needs help. Run the footage back and you'll see. I said he needs help.
So
Anyway.
you were saying I wasn't allowed to say you getting down the car to go check if the camera was recording is allowed, yeah?
We were parked.
We were parked on the traffic signal.
We were parked.
It could.
يا زلمة. We were parked.
What do you mean? You wanted to get out of the car while it wasn't parked?
No, it was parked. كنا صفين على الجنب.
Yeah, عالجنب.
Geneva.
No, they can't see the car.
Okay.
Okay, خلاص.
Okay. Anyways, back to it. being stressed part, I feel like look, at RCSI I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of like support and a lot of like mental support. So we have a so we have a section within campus called Compass, and they're basically there to assist you with whatever you're going through. You can call them whenever, you can email them whenever, and
Did you ever call
for
them?
you. Yeah, and I've used like, so basically there are levels to the services they provide, and the highest service they offer is
Do they give you?
therapy sessions.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
they offer us 10 therapy sessions
Nice.
every year. So
Okay.
and I've
Another
tried
thing, do they give you medicine to go through these things?
medication basically. If the therapist prescribes it, yeah.
Did you ever take it?
Medication, no, I wasn't prescribed any medication, but I did try therapy. I did go to one of the sessions, and it just wasn't for me. I'd recommend it for anyone who like is going through stuff, but it just didn't work for me.
What's like, I don't get it. What's this?
Nothing. الناس فهموها تفهمها.
Last one.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Okay, we'll continue.
Yeah.
Back to the whole getting stressed part. It's a huge aspect, especially around finals, because like, for example, like if I start studying for finals 1 month before, I'm cramming, you know? Like,
If I study
is-
for a final 1 month before, I'll
Exactly.
become a genius, bro.
yeah, you see, you'll finish everything. I start studying 1 month before and I'm barely able to get through everything, you know? And bear in mind, like, by cramming, I mean like I'm studying like 8 hours a day, minimum. Like there are days where I push myself in order to get things done, in order to
It's like playing games. You play 8-10 hours a day.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Do you know how when you there are times like during summer or whenever where you're just playing, and then every now and then you take a break, I don't know, to go pray or to go eat or to go shower,
Yeah.
and all you do is basically play and then take a couple of breaks to do whatever else you need to do in order to stay alive. Yeah, that's basically me with study, but instead I'm studying lectures, you know. And a huge aspect of it is mental fortitude. It's being able to like power through. But another aspect of it is just it's a routine. So at RCSI, everyone, the 3 undergrad degrees are medicine, pharmacy, and physiotherapy. So everyone is around healthcare, and everyone studies like a lot of not a lot of the same things, but like can relate to one another. So everyone is under the almost very similar stress around finals, and everyone is studying super hard. And seeing everyone going through the same things makes you feel like if they're able to go through it, then you'll be able to go through it. You
It
know?
gives you motivation.
It gives you motivation. It makes you feel like you're able to. And that's why they say a doctor is only as good as the batch he's graduating with, because you learn so much and you get motivated so much by the people around you and the people in your year. Like my batch is very well known to be very hardworking and very studious. So we walk into, we're like being made fun of first year at med school, like by upper years. They're like, why are the first years taking over the library, you know? So we would go in and we'd take over the library the entire day, and we'd study super hard. And upper years would look at us like, yo, you're still in first year, like you don't need to be studying that hard. But we were like just that motivated. And when you see everyone studying, it just creates a cycle where everyone also wants to study even more, because they feel like they're lacking behind, or they feel like, oh, this person is doing that. I want to be just like him, you know?
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
get pushed by others.
Yeah, if you see other people in your year doing it, then why can't you do it? You know what I mean?
No, but some people say, oh, I don't care.
That's a very small minority, and you see, this is
Or
where
you could just look at a person who's like studying really hard in the library, and you're saying that, oh, this person's putting way too much effort, and you don't need to put that much effort into something.
okay, you see, that's the thing. I feel like the number of students that think that, oh, like putting too much effort is glamorized in medicine. You know what I mean? So when
I think so.
so it's almost romanticized, like, oh my god, the student is putting in 10 hours every single day. Whenever I walk into the library, I see him. that motivates you, that pushes you, like, oh my god, like how great is this person, you know? And there are those unicorns that, and I genuinely describe them as unicorns because they're super smart, like they don't need to put in that much effort, and they study super hard. And those guys and those guys end up being like the top of your class, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And those people like motivate you, like, because you feel like
Do you think you would ever reach their level?
No, man, I ain't a unicorn by any means, you know.
Is it because of the school you went? Is it because of the difference?
Because of Mawaqib? No, I don't think so.
Like,
I think it's just person to person. But
no, like Mawaqib is a really good school. Like, it is a really good school. But like, if you compare it to other schools, it's not as good. So do you think if you were in a like much better school, would you be able to do what they're doing?
Let's say like if I was in Shweifat, would I be able to do what they're doing?
I think Shweifat tortures me.
Yeah, I think torture. I think it's too far, and I don't think it actually
But
makes
like,
it different.
what the subject they gave us, like,
Yeah. So
if it was different.
for example, the only spots that we know, we don't get rankings in our year, we just get percentages, and the only people that you know there like rankings are the number 1, number 2, and number 3, and number 1 and number 2 of my year, like the top and the second, didn't go to really academically tough schools, if you know what I mean. Like they didn't go to Shweifat or anything like that. I think Mawaqib is just as hard, if not even harder, than the schools that they went to, and yet they're top of my year, you know. And that's because the amount of effort they put in and just the type of student they are. It differs from person to person, and I think that's the main difference. It's I think maybe a small percentage of it is maybe 30% is how smart you are, but I think 70% is how dedicated, organized, and studious you are. Like if you have like what everyone like hammers you about, like once you start med school, is figure out a schedule. Figure out a schedule as to how you want to study, you know? And like I'm still figuring it out personally, and I'm like, I finished foundation year and I finished the first year and a half of med school, you know? And
Wait, one thing. You know, I'm gonna put a counter on how many times you said what? I mean, like.
Honestly,
I like how you're realizing this.
Yeah. لا أنا مركز
I'm
معاه.
actually interacted the story. You're like, oh, you said like 3 times. What goes through your head, man?
yeah, I know. And Jir focuses on the wrong things, you know?
No, but like, when I study, I could study 10 hours and get nothing, and I could study 1 hour and get everything.
Yeah.
Is that the case in medicine, or like?
Yeah, there's a huge emphasis on productivity.
Does the professor affect you?
Does the professor affect me?
I think professors play a huge role in anything.
I think they play a huge role in whether you end up loving a subject or not, but I don't think it plays a huge role in, like, I don't know about you guys, but at least in my case, like my class is 360 students, like, and I have 10 professors teaching one module, you know? Like, it's not really, there isn't a huge
But like,
amount
no
of
way,
like, interaction.
you didn't get the thing where, oh, this professor is better than this professor, or this professor didn't explain the subject, he had to explain it as good as it.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, at the end of the day, a lot of med students still have to end up going back and studying things on their own. Like I'd say I studied 90% of like what I've studied so far on my own. I think 10% is due to the lecture, and I think 90% is due to me going back and reading it over. And there are those great lecturers that you leave their lecture and like you don't need to study it ever again. And those lectures are very few and far in between. You
But
see this?
is it because the professor knew how to explain it, or is it because the subject was way too easy?
No, it's just honestly nothing in medicine is too easy, and nothing I think in medicine is too hard. I feel like it's all an average difficulty, but you just need a great way to remember it.
What are your hands?
They're on the steering.
Yeah, steering, yeah.
I think it's not about like how difficult something is to understand. It's just getting a way to remember it. So, for example, with anatomy, you could.
هلا عشان حكيتها الناس راح يفكروا they're gonna think wrong.
No! He was just driving with his knees. So Dubai police take care of him. I'm joking. Okay, cut this off. It's a joke. Okay, I'm serious. Cut this off.
Dash. Sharp, like
Okay, we're gonna start telling them the days, and on those days, our class shouldn't leave the house. Just because you'll be on the road and we'll be filming, so it's just for like their safety.
What were you talking about?
How is it because it's too easy, or is it because
the difficulty of mathematics? I think it's all about being an average. It's all almost an average difficulty. There obviously are a few things that are extremely hard. Like I find embryology to be extremely hard, you know, and I struggle with that. But I think generally, like almost everything is about the same difficulty. It's just a lot, and you have to remember everything, you know. And there are a couple of things that just sound the same. You know what I mean? So, for example,
do you
like
ever just forget?
Forget?
Like from how much stuff you have to do, you forget to
That's
do
the
something.
problem. That's the problem. You study so much, like sometimes things like play into sometimes you confuse a couple of things because they sound similar, or you confuse like a certain protein, you know, and you have like a lot of like for example, I'm studying right now and about the GI, you know, and there are like four or five pumps that pump basically glucose into a cell, you know. Glut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know.
Yeah.
And you have to know the differences between each and what each one does and where each one is located and what are the slight differences. So for example, 4 is insulin sensitive, and that's a huge big deal, you know. You see, it's just tiny things like that that you can easily mix up. Like I could easily mix up glut 2 with glut 3 with glut 4, you know.
Yeah.
Like it all sounds the same, but like makes a big difference.
I know, the sun is beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Just
it's
look at
gorgeous.
it.
It's gorgeous, man. Honestly, the UAE is gorgeous. Like this is one thing I didn't realize about living outside, is how gorgeous the UAE is and how much I was taking it for granted. Like I thought, oh, I hate the hot weather while I was here, and I thought like, oh, the weather was horrible and it's too hot, so on and so forth. But I'd much rather it be too hot over too cold. Like nothing is worse than it being like -1, -2 outside and the heater is not hot enough, you know. Like what are you gonna do?
This picture is a picture of my friend.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Is it the same in Ireland?
Not really. It doesn't snow that much, but it's very cold most of the year. So,
But it's not like a snowy area.
it rains a lot. It rains a lot. It's more rain than snow. But it did snow a couple of times this year. It did snow a couple of times this year.
Did we get rain this year? And why? Did it rain? Or was I just...
لا this year
Yeah.
والله يمكن.
Or like end of last. I don't remember it raining, to be honest.
انت قاعد على اللابتوب. You're sitting on the PC.
I don't remember anything.
Okay, احترم حالك.
لا it's the truth.
Okay, you go out and you explore Dora the Explorer. Did you see it rain?
No.
Okay, shut
I don't remember honestly. يا أخي I'm not gonna.
up.
Yeah, I'm recording. Okay.
Okay, so...
Back to,
One محترم forgot to يا ريت charge the camera.
Empty the storage.
Yeah, empty the storage.
So the camera died and now we're re-recording, just to make this clear. We were...
Okay, I think on the last. Okay, خلينا نركز على
Okay,
أهمها. Okay, I think last clip we reached or was it?
we were talking about cadavers.
No, not cadavers.
Oh, the snow.
Yeah,
Yeah, but we ended
if I
it
ever
there.
saw rain here.
Yeah, but we ended it there. You said you don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, let's continue about the cadavers.
Yeah. So.
ارجع عيد. Did you ever what do you call it?
Did you ever like go in front of a cadaver and thought like, oh, this guy donated his body for the sake of knowledge. I have so much stress, I need to focus.
Yeah, like it feels especially the first couple of times, like going into the anatomy lab and seeing cadavers for the first time. In the first couple of times, yeah.
Was therapy because of cadavers?
Oh no, like therapy was so basically the first year of med school, we didn't really have a lot of anatomy. We had a lot of physiology and a lot of like biomedicine in a way. So a lot of chemistry, a lot of biology, a lot of that type of thing. So it was, and that was the year where I got really stressed and I got really sad and depressed. This year is the year where we got to deal with cadavers and we had a lot of anatomy, and this year was chill, to be honest. Even though it was like,
Do people vomit because of them?
yeah, it happens like every now and then. Especially if you didn't really eat anything before.
Did you ever feel vomiting?
Nauseous? No, I never
Not
felt
nauseous.
that.
Lightheaded.
No. I like it. The only thing that
The first time you saw them, were you scared?
no, I'm not scared. I was happy. I was in awe. I was
We got a serial killer on.
Psychopath.
And just
no, I was in awe. It really felt like it was something special. You know, it really felt like like I'm actually studying medicine, and like it really felt like a responsibility. I remember the first day of med school. So we have something called the white coat ceremony, where you get to put on your white coat. You take your oath, so on and so forth, and it's a really big deal. And
what is your oath, yani?
it's just an oath towards our patients and towards their privacy and towards them. And I remember our head of anatomy came up and he reminded us that those people that donated their bodies, they're our patients. You know, like we're not meant to like.
Mess around?
Yeah, we're not meant to mess around. We're meant to treat them with respect. We're meant to like honor our oath, whether it is to their privacy or towards who they are. Like we're meant to respect them, and it really felt like they really meant something. They're
Something special.
Yeah, they're special to us. You know.
Pop smoke.
Bro, I hate pop smoke. Like, I just can't. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. Like, I just never liked this type of music.
No, he has some good music.
I'm just not a fan of his music, I'd say.
I'm not a fan either. You know.
Like, I love Kid Cudi.
I really like Kid as well.
Look at the car.
Sure. So, by the
صح انت
way,
ما بتعرف السيارات.
we kept talking about me and Brahim and like our class about like our gaming team and all. Mahmoud was part of it, and surprisingly he was our main tank. So, by the way, us doing an esports team, I just realized that it was all a like coincidence. Like we went as
Yeah.
friends.
Then
To-
it became a team. بعدها I became very toxic. They kicked me out of the team.
Okay, we did it. Okay, listen. Okay, so the story was, we were literally a group of friends. We saw this tournament and we were like, oh, we can participate in that. And we were like, oh, really hyped. And then we went there, and next day I get a message from Klaus, who's basically the head of the tournament, and he has the biggest esports team in like, I'd say the Gulf, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nasser
Yeah.
is about to be.
Nasser and
Nasser,
Yalla, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nasser, they go around the world.
Yeah, so I get a message on Discord the next day from him saying, yo, do you plan on making this like something serious? And I'm like, I can't make this decision on my own. I need to ask the guys. Then everybody was like down and hyped, and then we started making YouTube videos, started participating in tournaments, having like team meetups,
Yeah,
getting a
Discord
coach.
server.
Yeah, getting a coach. We were actually popular at the same point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it honestly
I was known for being the most toxic, like
still are
Middle East.
toxic.
Okay, لا, but I
Like,
became chill now. It's
You
not bad.
became
What?
chill.
Okay,
You
but
became
مش
chill?
زي قبل يا عمي. I'll be toxic now خلاص.
No, you're
Like,
still
in a team, what you want to hear is coordination and like, oh, okay, we just died, we'll go again, we'll kill them again. This guy dies and screams in a tournament, and like we all just like get depressed because when someone screams or like becomes toxic, the team's mentality falls off. And then we had him just screaming all the time.
Okay, but at least you got fourth.
I mean, we got fourth, third.
Yeah.
honestly, it was a great experience. I still like
Well, that's
thinking back about it. Like it was actually a phenomenal experience, and Because
صراحة it was the most fun I had والله.
like I can even link it to medicine, and a lot of the skills that I learned from being part of Calamity.
I got banned from Comic Con.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because of.
No خلاص.
Why would you bring it up if you don't want to tell it?
No, okay, بس the story is I got banned from Comic Con. وبس.
For life?
Yeah, maybe.
Like, what if you go now? Will they recognize you?
They're gonna take my ID. وكان الشخص اللي هناك وقفني نفسه. Yeah, he wouldn't let me in.
Yeah, he didn't get banned on the day of the tournament because our first tournament was
Yeah.
in Comic Con, so he didn't get banned then.
So I got banned after it.
Unlucky, I guess. Anyways, we just reached the last exit.
This is gonna be the outro kid. I know the first episode got messed up.
But like, we'll try to do better. It's just the first
Inshallah,
episode
yeah.
anyways.
When cup of قهوة. Cup of قهوة.
I don't know, whatever you want.
Allah will order.
Like, if you guys are hungry or anything.
Are you hungry?
I'm down for whatever you want.
Are you hungry?
Okay, so we won't decide on camera.
Okay.
Thank
لا
you
لا
guys
لا.
for watching.
لا لا. Okay, yeah, خلاص.
Thank you guys for
for watching. See you.
Take, see you, ما في like, subscribe.
شو بدي أسوي؟
Okay, يلا.
جرس التنبيهات.
يلا, see you everyone.
Bye.